guys, my name is Crystal Bianca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown of where I am with doing my book, and I've got an announcement to make. So I have finally finished editing Perfectly Fractured, and this is a huge achievement for me. Perfectly Fractured is now with my proofreader, so that's 5 months of hard work on my manuscript, and now that it's gone and it's finally done, I've gotten so much done for Perfectly Fractured lately. I've pushed myself, I've made sure that I have gotten things done, I've set daily goals, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I have achieved. Like I mentioned in my last video, my front cover is done, which is great. I've also done my back cover, which is really good as well. So for my back cover, I had to make sure that my blurb was finalized before I did it. So I spent a little bit of time on my blurb again. I wasn't really happy with my original blurb, and there was a lot of writing in it, and it felt like it was missing some linking sentences, and it just wasn't really making sense to me. So what I did was, instead of trying to include everything that happens in the story in the blurb, like I've seen some other people do, I instead simplified it, and I kept it really basic, really simple. I really tried to keep the intrigue there, because it is a thriller novel, so I really want people who read the blurb to be like, oh yeah, I wonder what that's about, you know what I mean? So I did that, and I'm actually really happy with my final blurb. I'm probably going to be posting a video in the future that's actually revealing the final blurb, because it is different to the blurb that I talk about in my past videos. So once I finished my blurb, I could actually start on my back cover. And when I was doing my back cover, it was a little bit of a pain, because when you have your back cover, you got to make sure that you've got your barcode on the back cover as well. And in order to have a barcode, you need to have an ISBN number. And when I tried to purchase my ISBN number, I was having internet issues. So whenever I was going to check it out and trying to pay for it, it would just load and load and load. And I was having real bad internet issues a day. So that was super frustrating, because without that, I couldn't really get my back cover done and say that I had finished it. But once we got the internet up and working again, it actually worked out perfectly. It was simple, it was easy, and I ended up finishing my back cover. So that's just another thing ticked off the list. Once I handed my manuscript off to my editor, I actually started formatting my book a bit. So I started to sort of brainstorm what the front pages of my book would look like and what the back pages of my book would look like. So I ended up doing a bit of research. I compared it with books that have already been published, and I sort of decided exactly what I want my book to look like. And when I was doing this process, it was pretty amazing actually seeing my book in that format, because it makes it feel so much more real, like, oh my god, this is my book, like this is what it's going to look like published. And I actually had a lot of fun doing it. Like, I don't think it's done just yet, but I've got a good solid draft. When I've done this formatting, I haven't gone full out, because the document that I'm working on right now may not be the final document, because it may actually be the document that I'm getting back from my proofreader. So that's why I haven't added the page numbers and the headers and that sort of stuff, but at least I've got everything else there. And what I really need to include on the back of the book was the author bio. I'd previously written another author bio a few months ago, and I went back to that and I looked at it and it still didn't feel right. So I actually went over my author bio again, and I simplified it again, just like my back cover and my blurb. And I'm actually pretty happy with my author bio right now. And I'm actually surprised in how difficult it is to actually write one. To actually put interesting things about yourself into just a paragraph is quite a tough thing to do. So I got that done, which is great. All I need to do is wait until my manuscript comes back, until I can actually do the final edit. So the final edit, I'll probably go over all the pages I've just done, so the front pages, the back pages, and make sure I'm happy with them. I'll also go through my manuscript again, make sure that it's the way it needs to be, that there's no mistakes, that it's, you know, that it's perfect, and then it will be ready for Amazon, which is crazy. I still have a little bit of a to-do list. So I still haven't taken my author photo. So my author photo will probably be featured on my Goodreads and my Amazon page, and maybe some of my other social media pages as well. and I also need to work a bit on my marketing plan. So I have brainstormed a few ideas, and I have actually started a little bit of making posts and that sort of thing with my book cover, but I really need to have it down and in writing, know exactly what I want to do to make sure that Perfectly Fractured is marketed properly. I actually plan on doing a future video about book marketing and talking about some paid and some free options after I've used them and what I think about them. My last announcement that's super duper exciting is that I've started writing book 2. So yesterday I don't know, I just thought, I've spent so much time away from actually writing, I've spent so much time editing and doing all these other book related things that I should really get back to writing. And yeah, I did it yesterday. So I started book 2, and to be honest with you, it was kind of difficult getting back into the flow of things. I think that to actually get the flow, I never really got the flow yesterday. I was writing paragraph upon paragraph, but then I would stop after each paragraph and then I would go over and edit it. It was like I was still stuck in editing mode, where I need to get out of editing mode if I really want to get some writing done, to make it work. I shouldn't really worry that much on the first draft, because the first draft is basically getting whatever I need on paper. But I think too, I need to be in the right mind space to be with these characters, to feel Simone as a character, to really get inside her head. And I really need to work on that in the next few days to get this book 2 done. The reason why I have started on book 2 already is because I don't want there to be a huge gap between both of the books, because book 1 does end on a cliffhanger. So I really need to make sure that there's not a year gap between both of the books. But book 2 isn't going to be as quick of a process as book 1. I think it's going to be slow for me to start writing because I've got all these other things on my plate right now. But I still want to make sure that each day I sort of designate some sort of time to work on it and to see how I go and to really get it done. I will most likely post writing vlogs in the future for book 2, which is super exciting. I actually really enjoy doing writing vlogs, so keep your eye out for that. And if you're interested in more writing related videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions for me, leave them down in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.